What is going on to you, Libras? So I actually decided to give you Libras this video right here second, because this is actually going to be one of the longest videos on my channel that I've ever made. Right? And the reason why is because please make sure to stay tuned to the other half of this video. I'm actually blending this and why I love Libra video together in one, so I ain't got to do so much videos. But look, there's a link in the comment section below called a Linktree link. Click on it. It will redirect you to a website which has all the ways for you to be able to financially support the channel. Would really appreciate it if you would. I was just putting in the last 5 cards because I realized I'm going to do 15 from now on instead of just the regular 10. That will be the new norm here over on this channel. So for you Libras, you have the Star, the Moon, and then you have the 6 of Swords. These cards right here for you Libras very much so talks about how you Libras are in a particular situation, okay, where I am honestly seeing that you Libras have met some people who aren't really fit to be with you. And the Star card represents you Libras wanting someone that is fit to be with you. You wish that you had somebody. Maybe this is a connection where you may have this connection already, but you and this person, for some odd reason, don't unfortunately see eye to eye. Unfortunately, the two of you don't see eye to eye, but you wish that you and this person did. And the thing is that the Moon and the 6 of Swords represent, you just need some space away from them as of right now, right? So it's someone that you just stop talking to, right? Or it's someone that you already are in kind of, or very much so in an established bond with, that you let them know, hey, listen, you know, you're done with them, okay? Or you just need a little bit of a break and to figure some things out, because a lot of you Libras really are trying to do good. You really are trying to be on the straight and narrow. And a lot of you Libras want to make sure that you are not on some goofy stuff, right? Where it's about you being wild and sporadic and, you know, just unpredictable in the heat of the moment. And then you Libras end up saying something or doing something where you end up regretting it in the future. And one of the things that you know for sure as of right now is that some of the people in y'all lives, if you Libras are in an established bond, you know that it's them. You know that you love these people very dearly, but you're kind of thinking about if this relationship is actually going to be able to last long term, or whether you should cut your losses with them, because you may not actually be with somebody that is a good fit for you. And for you Libras that are single, okay, and this means that you're probably just now getting to know a couple of people playing the field. You're not necessarily really committed to one particular person. You're really just getting to know what's going on around here in these streets, trying to find a gem in a stack full of false diamonds, right? So the Ace of Wands now and the 9 of Swords is really all about how it is that the Ace of Wands is about you understanding that you have to be wise about who you spend your time with and how you spend your time, just period, just in general, which is very true. People will live their entire lives and not even allow themselves to actually pay attention to the direction of where their life, where they came from and where they're going, right? They don't pay attention to those things. So you Libras now have a better understanding of that compass, because the one thing that you Libras lack is a compass, is a sense of direction. Just air signs, a sense of direction. Sometimes y'all are air, so y'all are kind of everywhere, right? The atmosphere or air is everywhere, right? As you go up into different layers, or as you come down into different layers of our earth, you get different types of atmosphere, i.e. different types of air, right? This is why it is that the air down here on sea level, right, is different from the type of air that's higher than sea level or elevated than more than sea level. This is why that type of air is different from different from the air level that you get up on a mountain, right? It's a different type. It's not that you're able to get less air. What it is that it's a different type of air the more you go up there or come down, right? So I'm saying all that to say a lot of you Libras now realize that you can't talk to everybody, hang out with everybody, attract these people, keep these people in your life. You can't do all of that. The Nine of Swords represents, but at the same time, all it is that a lot of you Libras are kind of caught up in a little bit of a limbo right now. And why does that say that a lot of you are caught up in a limbo? I mean, from the perspective of you want to be able to do right. You want to actually be able to maneuver the way that you want to. But I just think that a lot of you Libras feel like y'all are stuck. Y'all are messed up if you do, messed up if you don't. Some of you Libras can be in potential long-term relationships. I don't necessarily see full-blown marriages per se. It could be a marriage, right? You could still feel like this. But for a lot of you, I don't really necessarily think that you Libras are married in any kind of particular way or the other. I just more so see that this is about you Libras could like know somebody for like 5, 10, 15 years, y'all together. And then for whatever reason, the two of you grew apart, or you realize that this person was dysfunctional the whole time, or a lot of the time. Somewhere along the lines, their value system changed. And then now all of a sudden you Libras want to get out of this situation, and you feel like you can't, because if you try to get out, it's not going to be very easy. So a lot of you Libras feel stuck right now. A lot of you Libras feel like, what are you going to do if you were to actually, show love and or not show love, but I mean like decide that you're going to leave the situation and show yourself love, right? Kind of separate things for good, break up. And then the thing is that the Two of Cups and the Hanged Man represents, if any of you Libras right now are feeling like, let me say this, and if any of you Libras are in a situation right now where y'all are married or y'all have a real serious connection, the cards would advise for you to not necessarily break up as of this moment. What the cards would advise for you Libras to do is for you to actually take your time, right? And be patient. That's what the Hanged Man represents, and the Two of Cups represents the two of y'all's connections. So take your time. Don't be so easily distracted with the nonsense that they bring or the nonsense that you bring, because once again, it could be you Libras for all I know, in that sense, where you Libras realize that there's some things about yourselves that a lot of y'all are going to have to separate from and end up actually, kind of detaching from these people, because you realize that you want to be able to actually make sure that you and this person are really connected in that way by fixing you. But it could also be the other way around as well. This is what I'm talking about. It could also be the other way around, in the sense that the way that I was reading, right, originally, where this person is very dysfunctional, and yet, the value system has changed, or maybe the value system changed, right? You thought that you were less than when you originally got with this person. And now you Libras started to understand your value, that this person doesn't really contribute anything that you particularly want into your life, right? But now it's like you realize that you've dedicated so much time to this dysfunctional relationship. Now some of you Libras, or a lot of you, are trying to figure out what it is that you got to do in order to wipe the slate clean and get out of this dysfunctional relationship. For you Libras who are single, though, for a lot of you Libras who are actually single, what this is saying, what the Two of Cups and the Hanged Man is saying is, once again, be very patient when it comes to your selection. That's when it is that we go back to the Ace of Wands. Be very careful in your selection. Be very careful with how it is that, you spend your time actually, getting to know people. Not everybody is exactly who they portray themselves to be out front. That if any element is supposed to know that, the air signs are supposed to know that, right? People find all types of ways to masquerade and cover up their dysfunctions or cover certain things up. So the Knight of Cups now represent how it is that but regardless of whatever the situation is, whether you are a Libra that is looking for someone brand new and you haven't been in a relationship in a while, you're very much so looking, or you are a Libra that is in an established bond. I'm kind of giving y'all two readings, but in an established bond, the Knight of Cups represents, for you Libras that are already in an established bond, like I said before, wait a little bit for you to be able to actually see if the person is dysfunctional before you leave them alone. You don't want to delude yourself into thinking that these people are no good. You end up making a terrible decision by thinking these people are no good. And then you end up ruining a marriage that you thought was bad because you imposed that it was terrible onto somebody that was actually treating you in the contrary, right? Well, same thing with you Libras. You want to make sure that you are getting to know people. See, part of the problem why a lot of people end up getting into so much dysfunctional relationships in the first place is due to the fact that these are people that will deliberately, they want to move very quickly. And when it comes to a relationship, you have to establish one that is very much so a very good, well-connected relationship. How is it that you do that? Is you want to move fast enough to where you're actually touching certain bases, right? Certain bases, but you actually want to move slow enough to where you get to know the actual person and who they are, what they're into, and to be able to understand if your value system and their value system are actually very similar. So you have to make that good moderation, that good mix of the two, right? For you, right? So the Knight of Cups now represents if you Libras who are in an established bond are in fact still dealing with a dysfunctional person, then it means that, right, you should leave them alone. It means that it's time for you to bounce. If you Libras, right, you single Libras are dealing with a situation for you where you are getting to know people, once again, pay attention to what they say and meaning what they say in combination with what they do. That way, you'll be able to actually find out if a person is a complete waste of time or you're actually on the verge of being in a full-blown functional relationship. Now, the Queen of Pentacles and the Five of Cups over here represents, so for you Libras, this is very much so about, for you Libras who are in an established bond that waited, and you're in a position, you waited and you're in a position now where you want to ultimately leave. Once again, the Knight of Cups represents if you have waited, okay, then it means that if you get to this point and you're in an established bond and you still want to leave after waiting, after trying to make things work between yourself and this person that you are connected to, i.e. a long-term relationship, that means that it's okay for you to leave now. The Queen of Pentacles and the Five of Cups, it may be a relationship that may hurt you to your core, Libra, at the fact that you Libras may not really want to separate from these people. But it's okay for you Libras to leave now because you done tried everything that you possibly could to make this relationship work between yourself and this other person. And that kind of discomfort is actually reflected in the Five of Cups about how it is that you love this individual but it's unfortunate because you still have to disconnect from them and stay away from them. And for you Libras that are not in any kind of established bond, the Queen of Pentacles and the Five of Cups represents you have to develop the heart, which I'm sure a lot of you Libras already have the heart for this. But for you Libras who are wet behind the ears and inexperienced, you Libras have to develop the heart to where when you're getting to know somebody and the two of you are not really mixing well together, the two of you are not on very good terms as far as value systems, to cut them off like that. Because what's going to happen is the two of you are not on the same or similar value systems. So what that means is very hard relationship, if the relationship is even functional at all. See, this is why it is I say, Libra, that it's about character, because a person's character is determined by their value system. In order to get money, you have to have character, i.e. a value system. If the value system, i.e. the character, is aligned the correct way, mind and heart, the correct way, right? Then you can make money, right? Achieve the finer things in life that a lot of you Libras won't and represent. Because Libra represents the finer things in life, right? Flashy and luxurious, right? Now, the next couple of cards are the Temperance and the Wheel of Fortune. The Temperance and the Wheel of Fortune over here represents how this will bring a lot of you wisdom. A lot of you Libras are becoming more wise with your decisions. And one of the decisions that you will make is, if you Libras who are in an established bond cut those people off, you will not feel very bad about this decision, because you will have known that you done tried everything that you possibly could with these individuals, and that you are actually right for cutting them off, and that you do not need to feel like, you were the worst person in the world due to the fact of you cutting them off. You know that it's for a very good reason that you did. You know that you did, and you know why you cut them off. You cut them off because their value systems changed, or your value system changed, or whatever. The point is, the two of y'all value systems was not the same, and that this was one of the wisest decisions, like I said, that you've ever made in your life. Now, the Wheel of Fortune and the Eight of Cups represents, and this brings you into the next element of it, where now you Libras are developing a compass, right? A sense of direction, because that's kind of one of the problems with air signs, is that air, like I said, air is the atmosphere. So like air signs can kind of, right? Like air signs can kind of be all over the place all at once. And it's like, okay, but you need to center yourself. You need to actually have some form of solidarity in your life, something to ground you in order for you to actually be able to have some sort of sense of direction. See, a compass in on itself, right? Because the Wheel of Fortune, we're talking about compasses and sea navigation and all this other type of stuff, right? Which is what the Wheel of Fortune represents. See, a compass, right? A compass. The reason why it is that a compass is so used and symbolized by, finding yourself, is because a compass actually is attracted to the magnetic poles of what? The solid ground, the earth. You understand what I'm saying? So it gets attracted or points in the direction of the electromagnetic field of the earth. I don't try to be smart. I don't try to be this scientific. It comes out. I don't know why or how. It just blah. So for all those people trying to make it seem like, man, you're trying too hard to be smart. I don't know where this stuff comes from. I'm just telling y'all what, so that y'all can connect the dots. But the point is, a lot of you finally starting to realize that y'all have that ethics, that y'all have that sense of direction that y'all needed for such a very long time, and that you're not going to allow anything or anyone, right, especially not someone that's trying to sabotage you from finding that sense of direction, right? From actually being able to change that value system to where it's better, it works better in all areas of your life. For you Libras, this will keep you out of one night stands with people, where people just want to, unfortunately, trying to use you or whatnot, and don't really give you a relationship. And then the last two cards on the main board are the King of Pentacles and the Two of Wands. These two cards right here for you Libras really speak to how, once again, being very wise when it comes to the people who are very slick and sly, right? Look at how shifty this person's eyes are, right? The King of Pentacles, look at how shifty their eyes are, because they're slick, right? They're slick. They like to, they present themselves to you handsome or very pretty, attractive. But then a lot of you Libras realize, single or freshly broken up, right, or going to be freshly broken up, you realize that relationships are multi-layered and that not everything is as it seems. So let's clarify the Temperance. You have the Five of Cups, the King of Wands, the Five of Swords, the Star card, and then you have the Page of Swords to clarify the Temperance. Yet again, the Five of Cups and the King of Wands is about how it is that you will, like I said, when it's time for you to leave, it's going to hurt you at first, Libra, because this is a person that you are accustomed to. For you Libras that are single and you're trying to get to know people, right? It's still going to not necessarily be comfortable, because jumping, I ain't gonna say jumping from a person to person, but the feeling of having to restart over and over and over again may not be the most comfortable. Either side, either way, regardless of whether you're getting out of a long-term established bond or you're looking for one, it's not going to be the most comfortable at first. But over time, it becomes more and more comfortable, like second nature to you, right? Due to the fact that you Libras know why you're doing it. So you don't have to feel bad for cutting somebody off, because you'll know that, oh, the two of y'all's value systems don't align like this, right? Doesn't work like peanut butter and a banana, or peanut butter and jelly. So the Five of Swords and the Star card represents, but you'll most definitely keep being honest with yourself, because now you have a way more understanding of what it is that you're looking for now, right? I.e. that sense of direction. And the Page of Swords represents, now of course y'all already know, you're still going to have individuals that are going to try to get in the way, that you will get to know, disrupt certain things, so-called friends that will try to step on your toes. But you Libras will know that you have to stay away from them. All right. So that's pretty much it for now. Comment on the video, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, share the video. Stay tuned for your Why I Love Libra part. So look, don't ask me why it is that I got my shirt off, right? Shut up. I'm gonna go ahead, do my thing. I'm in the lab. Let me cook though. So look, why it is that I love Libras. All right. I love Libras because Libras are actually some of the most fun-loving people that I've ever known in my entire life. I've known so many Libras in my life. I said this before, and I'm going to say it again. I know the elements that I know and have close connections with the most are air signs and water signs. My mom is a Pisces. My sister's a Pisces. My father's an Aquarius. I've had plenty of Libra friends throughout my high school years. Okay. I was engaged to a Libra woman. Okay. Right. No problem with Libras. But see, the situation is that, to be fair about this, in order for a Libra to get to that point where it's heaven on earth, because a Libra can make it heaven on earth, but in order for a Libra to be able to make it heaven on earth, their mind and their heart has to be established first. Their mind and their heart has to be working first. Problem with Libras, right? The main problem with Libras, with y'all is y'all are very beautiful people, not just externally as far as beauty is concerned, but spiritually inside, right? As well. But the mind is the thing that ends up winning the vast majority of the battles over the heart. And because your mind ends up winning, because of the fact that your mind ends up winning over your heart a little bit too much, if you ask me, it can end up putting things into perspective where you still come off a little bit more ruthless than what you essentially have to be. And the reason why it is I'm saying that you come off a little bit more ruthless is because an Aquarius is more concerned sometimes with their own heart and their own feelings and their own situation more than they are with yours. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But everything in moderation, right? You want to give in moderation. You want to be selfish in moderation. Libras are some of the most intelligent individuals that you'll ever meet as well. That's one of the reasons why I love Libra so much. One of the reasons, right? When it comes to intelligence, the air signs and the air signs and the fire signs are very intelligent. The earth signs and the water signs are very underrated when it comes to intelligence, right? But because with Virgo, people think that Virgos are stupid, even though they're the smartest zodiac sign. But Libras, even though Virgos are actually the smartest zodiac sign, Libras are actually the ones that get the credit for being the smartest zodiac sign. A lot of you Libras have a very powerful Libra. The zodiac sign of Libra is a very powerful thing. And I've said this before, Libra is a very heavy card to be born into the zodiac sign of what it means to be a Libra. Number one, Libras represents judgment. It represents making decisions, right? We make thousands of decisions on a daily basis. Libra also represents responsibility, accountability, the very same thing that separates us from children. That's one of the things that separates us from children: accountability, right? Responsibility, and age, i.e. experience, right? As well as age, right? Physically growing up, right? Being old enough, right? And with great responsibility comes great power, right? When you are responsible for yourself, when you are responsible for your own empowerment, guess what's going to happen? And you are a responsible individual, guess what's going to happen? You're going to put yourself in a very good position to make sure that you succeed in life. All of that comes from responsibility. But this is why it is, I said a million times, that responsibility and power are actually one and the same. There is no separation from that, because when you understand something is wrong and you want to legitimately change it, now you have a responsibility, you see what I'm saying, to actually change it. If you are saying, or if internally you want the circumstances to change, to turn into your favor so that you can have leverage. What a lot of people do, especially nowadays, especially when the internet is live, you get so many people, grown-ups, adults, crazy, talking about, you can see it, how it is that they're trying to lean away from responsibility, power, but then they want power. And it's like they're out of their mind, because they don't understand that the very definition of responsibility is power. Just the same thing with power is responsibility. The more power, responsibility you have, because that represents options, people put their lives into your hands, responsibility, power. The more responsibility you have, the more power you have. Another thing why it is I love Libras. Oh my gosh. Libras represents functional relationships. Right? Ooh. Oh my gosh. Right? I bet you a lot of people didn't know that. Libras represent functional relationships. A lot of people when they don't know what it is that they're doing. They don't know what it is that they talking about. They get themselves into connections with people, right? Connections. I can't even say relationships because they're not even real, but they get themselves in connections with other people, right? That they call relationships. And then the relationship turns out to be terrible. And then they're asking themselves, why is that? Then they try to do too much to make it right. Because that's what it is that people are ultimately trying to do when they try to befriend the very same person that they're going out on a date with. They say, oh, they're out here trying to make friends. You just essentially friend zone a person that you're trying to date. So it's not a date. You're talking about you want a friend. See, Libras, when their mind and their heart are in the correct place, Libra represents peace. All of this goes into a relationship. Libras represent peace. You hear people with my anatomy, if you catch my drift, talk about they want peace. What are they saying? They're saying that they want to establish functional relationships. Why? Because Libra rules romantic relationships. But Libra also rules what? Peace. You can't have a functional relationship unless there's a certain level of peace. There's a certain level of harmony and understanding and kinship and similar values that are agreed upon. Two people or more, whatever, how many ever, that want to get along with one another, that actually build that connection with one another. There's no exception to that. So you have so many people ripping and running around. Everybody is looking for Venus. Everybody is looking for love. Everybody is looking for love. Everybody is ripping and running around and looking for this love and oh my gosh, love. But very few people actually know how to establish it. But then they have war, they have dysfunction in their lives, they have nonsense, they have chaos in their lives. But then when you're trying to tell them, listen, stupid, the only way for you to be able to establish a functional relationship is you have to establish peace as you're getting to know them. Too many people are too out of their minds. But what they don't understand is they need to implement the Libra energy. Meaning what? People will friend zone people. Oh, I'm looking for a friend. What you do is you go out with the person, and as you are going out with them and you are getting to know them, you want to make sure that you and this person are actually able to get along with one another. That is the friendship as you are getting to know somebody romantically. When the physical romantic fun is not going on, can the two of you get along outside of the physically romantic connections? That is Libra. Libra also rules harmony just in general, but specifically, Libra rules harmony specifically in romantic relationships. Aquarius rules harmony in friendship, platonic relationships. This is the thing a lot of people don't understand. So when you have so many of these people ripping and running around out here, friend zoning people, and you get people who want to approach and they, oh no, I'm not interested and stuff like this. This is why it is that Venus eludes us. This is why it is that Venus omits us. This is why Venus, even though Venus still has an influence over the planet, right? Venus, people don't understand what love actually is. They don't know how to implement it. This is why you'll get so many people paying for love, buying all these gifts, paying somebody, putting money in somebody's hand for love. This is where we get all this hypergamy, they want this, that, and the third, they want a whole planet. They want a literal whole planet on their pinky, or excuse me, not on their pinky, on their ring finger, you know what I mean? On their ring finger and stuff like this as an engagement ring and all this other type of stuff. And it's like, yes, which brings me to my next point. Libra represents the finer things in life, right? Luxury, right? Flashy, luxurious things, right? The comfortable things that make you feel superior, right? The things that a lot of the upper class and the higher class people have. But at the same time, people don't really understand that, that comes with love. You must see, this is why I keep trying to say, that title, Love Pays the Bills, is a Libra title. This is why I wrote the book. Go and pick up that book. Shameless plug. Go ahead and pick up that book, Love Pays the Bills. There's a link in the comment section below called a Linktree link. Click on it. It will redirect you to a website which has all the ways for you to financially support the channel. Thank you in advance. Peace.